Yeah, what is difference between array list and vector? This is also important for interview. We'll go one by one. First difference. Whatever methods are there inside array list, all are the non-synchronized methods. Since it is a non-synchronized methods, it is not thread safe. If multiple threads, when they try to access the array list methods, they can access simultaneously. There is no need of waiting. So it is called non-thread safe. But if you go to the vector, vector is a thread safe. Whatever methods are there inside a vector class, all are the synchronized methods. So if we have two threads are accessing the vector object, vector methods. First thread can access the vector method. Whenever first thread is accessing, second thread cannot able to access the vector method because first thread is already using the vector method. So once the first thread execution is completed in the vector method, then it will release the object lock of vector. Then second thread will take the object lock and it will execute the vector method. So that is called thread safe. If you make the method is a thread synchronized, that is a thread safe. That is the main difference between the array list and vector. First difference. Coming to the second difference. Since a vector is a thread safe and synchronized, multiple threads, if you have multiple threads are accessing the same vector object, then the performance will become low. See, if two threads are accessing vector object, if each thread is taking 5 minutes time, then the time is 10 minutes to access the vector object methods. But here, coming to the array list, if two threads are accessing the array list objects, array list is not synchronized, so it is not a thread safe. Two threads access array list at a time. So the time is here within 5 minutes, both threads can able to read the array list object. Here, take one more example. We have 100 threads. 100 threads are accessing array list. Array list is a non-synchronized. 100 threads can able to read the array list method within 5 minutes. But here, coming to the vector, vector is a synchronized. 100 threads are accessing the same vector object. So each and every thread will take 5 minutes. So it will take 100 into 5, 500 minutes to execute the entire method execution of vector by the 100 threads. So that is coming to the performance. Array list will give the better performance compared to the vector. That is the second difference. Now third difference. See, once we create array list, inside array list implementation in background, if the size of the array list is exceeds completed, inside array list there is a dynamically it is increasing the size. The dynamic increase of the size is happening by using 50% of array list size, array list default size. See, inside implementation, they have used some size as a default size. If the elements, whenever we are adding elements of array list dot add, we are just adding elements 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 100. After some time, the size is completed. So they want to increase the size in the background because you can add any number of elements to the array list. Whenever we create object, whenever we are adding. So that is called dynamic adding the elements. When it is allowing dynamic adding the elements, the size of the array list is exceeds. So how it is increasing in the background? It is increasing in the background by increasing the 50% of the default size. So default size is 20, take example. Then if the size is exceeding, 20 elements are added, then it will increase the 10 because the 50% means 20 by 2 is, it will give 10. It is adding the size is 20 plus 10 is 30. So it is becoming the size is 30. Again we are adding the elements up to 30. After 30, it will exceed the size. So they are trying to add the again size as a 30 plus 10, 50% of the default size. So the size will become 40. That is related to array list. In case of vector, the default size of vector is, let us assume, 20. So dynamically, how the size is increasing? The size is increasing by using the 100%. If the size default size is 20, when the adding the elements of vector exceeds, and it will add the all the maximum size. It will access. It came to the maximum size. Then they're adding the size is 100% means the size they are increasing from 20 to 20 plus 20 40. So the size dynamically increasing in the background is 40. That is related to growing the data of the array list and vector difference. Array list is 50%, they will increase. Vector, they will increase 100%. That is third difference. Fourth difference is when we read the elements of the array list, we can read the elements by using iterator class. Here we have seen array list.iterator. It will give the iterator object. By using iterator object, iterator.has next and next methods, we can read the elements of array list. By using vector, we can read the elements, traverse the elements by using enumerator and by using the iterator also. By using two ways, we can iterate the elements of vector. That is in case of reading the elements of a array list and vector. That is one difference. How we are using array list and vector in the real development. If you want to use the array list, you can use the array list directly. See, if you want to use the array list, you can create the object, you can use it. I just created an array list object, I can use it. But basically, if you want to use a vector, vector is used for creating synchronized list. So now people are not using vector class because by default collections class will provide synchronized list method which will make our list as a synchronized list. By using collections class synchronized list method, you can get the synchronized list, safe list. So there is no need of using the vector class. We can call synchronized list method and we can get the synchronized list class. This is synchronized list. How to create synchronized list? If you want to create synchronized list, you can create by using the synchronized list method of collections class. This is also one question. So let's go and run this. We got the output of ABC, ABC. So no need of creating a vector class. If you want to create any synchronized list, that's a list. Vector is used for creating synchronized list. If you want to achieve that, you can achieve by using synchronized list. So people willing to use synchronized list instead of using vector class. You don't need to remember all these methods. If you want any thread safe things, you can create like this. This is about list interface. We have seen all mainly array list, linked list, and vector, and how to create immutable list. That also we have seen. How to create unmodifiable list, and how to create synchronized list. These three are the important. Next one we can see what all are the things are there inside the iterator. How many ways we can iterate the elements, and what is the difference between each and everything. In the next class, we can see. So I'm closing this. You can see in the next class.